Hey, hey, hey. Champion music, right back at you. You a hater. Hey, Kitchen Talk, we back. Let me get a round of applause. Come on, come on, come on. Let's get it. Shout out to the whole staff. Shout out to the whole gang, man. We got a great episode here today, man. We gonna be talking a lot of legend talk, man. You know, shout out to the whole gang, man. Free Ricky, hustle hard.
Free Rick.
Shout out to Harlem Rock, she'll be back. Shout out to your favorite time boy, Coach Gov, Petey, you know, Squeaks, Nashy Nash. Big shout out to Pearls Monroe, Lifestyle, Lavish Lifestyles. Lot going on, lot happening in the game, and now we back. We got the hottest show out here, and we back with a great episode. We back with a guest that I have a lot of respect for. You understand? And I just want to talk about everything, man. I welcome y'all, D, Ruff Ryders D. You know him, legendary. You know him from Locks, DMX, everything, Drag On, Eve, everything, man. So welcome to the show, bro.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you coming. Favorite time boy, but she is looking for a man.
Oh boy, no, I'm not.
I appreciate you coming though, bro. And I wanna kind of chop it up with you about a lot of stuff. Obviously, you know, rest in power to X. You know, I definitely want to tap on that. You know, the whole game. You coming up, you and your family building a company early in the game. Everything, the artists. You know, but I want to go back first and ask you that, because you come from Yonkers.
No, I lived in Yonkers, but I'm probably basically from Harlem in the Bronx.
Right. That's where I was born at.
Yeah.
Right.
I was from the Bronx, then Harlem, back and forth.
Right. Was music something that you grew up wanting to do?
No, music was something that you probably just listened to.
Right.
More so than do it. When you're young, you just listening to music. You just like the artists that's out at that time. You know, all the ones that was out at that moment, Cool G Rap. Different artists that was hot. So music, I didn't go to school for music.
That's right. So when Cool G Rap is out, Road to the Riches and stuff like that, what was you doing?
What year was that? Because I couldn't.
This is in the 80s. This is in the 80s. Where was D at in his life when in the 80s, early 90s?
In the early 80s, could have been probably in the streets. You already know. In the streets. Jail, probably just got out of jail. I don't even know.
You did a lot of time?
You know what? I had a lot of cases, and this is for the youth to understand. This is important.
Indeed.
See, when you're in them streets and you're catching cases and you're getting in these situations, the reason why you get so much time is because they know right away from this step right here, when they take you, they lock you up, put you on central bookings, and they're going to ask you, do you got a lawyer?
Right.
You're going to say no. They're going to say, we're going to give you a lawyer.
Right.
Meaning, nigga, they getting ready to give you some time. Because you can't afford a lawyer. But I was blessed to always have money when I caught cases, so I can afford a lawyer, not the lawyer that they're going to appoint to me.
Right.
So that's what it is with this generation, these kids, they don't got no money. So when they get locked up, they give them a lawyer, and they go tell them they don't know the law or anything. So what happens is that they give him a lawyer and tell him, look, you got to just take this 5 and, go on because they're going to give you 10 and he don't know no better.
Right. And we don't be knowing no better.
We don't know the law.
Right. We don't know the law. We don't understand.
Yeah. It's bad.
Wow. So you was able to get around a lot of stuff because you had some finances.
Yeah, that was definitely, like, all my cases, I had real serious cases. I didn't get caught with 3 cracks and shit. I was getting caught with a lot of work, and it was robberies and just all the shit you do when you're coming up.
Right.
And it's just I look at life, for me, as I look back, it was like a a growing process. You know, you go from this is how it go. You go from stealing.
That's right.
From stealing, then you go straight from stealing, then you go to robbing. Straight from robbing, you go to drug dealing, and then that's where it stops right there.
Right.
So those are the process of us going through the hood.
The stepping stone.
You
There
know,
you go.
that's a
There
fact.
you go.
It's a fact. And
You seeing it?
And it's interesting that you say that, because I always tell people that when you come up like that, when you start getting active in the street like that at a very early age, it feels natural. It almost doesn't feel wrong, because your environment, everything in your environment is the same thing. Like, you know, you'll come out your house and you see somebody getting robbed. You come out your house, you see people selling drugs. You come out your house, you see people, you hear shots or whatever. So it kind of feels normal.
Right.
You understand? So like criminality, right? When it's like you become a criminal, it doesn't feel off.
100%. You're product of your environment. That's
Indeed.
all you need to know. So if you don't want me to be a robber, then you probably wouldn't want me to live here, because that's all they doing on this block and selling drugs. So when you walk out your building, that's all you see. So it's always important for us to put our kids in better environments.
Indeed. I agree with that. So when did you, because being a dude that come from the street in that era, music probably wasn't always that fashionable. You know? I don't know if dudes was really looking to be in the music business so much back then. When did that become a thought for you and a thought for your family?
I mean, it wasn't never no thought for me. I never grew up thinking music. I just like to listen to music.
Right.
You know? And if we outside and we'd be outside hustling, doing whatever we doing, but we just like to listen to music. We got the radio, whoever was out, music was hot at that point.
Right.
We just listened. It wasn't like I'm gonna be a rapper or I'm gonna do music. That wasn't it never crossed my mind, you know. It was an opportunity. What did cross my mind is that I was in the house one day and I was like, all right, you either gonna go this or this, what you gonna do? Because I hustled all my life, so I've been in the streets my whole life. So I had to want to keep hustling or do something else to change your life, because you know this ain't gonna last long.
What made you? What brought you to that place though? Because sometimes it's something drastic that happens. What brought you to that place?
You know what? You know what? Nothing brought me to that place. It was just me waking up one day, and I had to sit. You know, when you get your quiet time,
right?
You got to be able to evaluate that and read the signs. So I just happened to be in that position at that one moment, and I was like, you know what? I could always hustle and sell drugs. I've been doing that forever. Let me try something different. So that was my change right there to say, y'all go ahead, keep doing what y'all doing. I'm gonna have to go try something different. And
I'm tired of doing the same thing.
I had to. I would have been in jail like everybody else. You know, but my goal is a little different for me, because I really come from the street. Niggas talk, but nigga, I sit on my block right now today, right now. But what happens is, my goal is, it was never for me, because when we was on tour and we had all the people coming, I brought all my niggas with me so I could show them something different, because I just knew that they never seen nothing other than being in New York. So I used to spend could have been $200,000 just taking them with me. I didn't care, because I knew that what I was showing them, they was never probably ever going to see anytime soon. So I just take 30 motherfuckers with me, and just so they could see, other than they blocking their corners and they open their visions, you know. So that was my goal.
Those opportunities to see different things is a lot of times when we come from our neighborhoods is what we need.
100%.
Is what we need. Like, you know, growing up in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy, I thought that was the whole world.
Yeah.
You understand? And too, I got an opportunity to see outside of that. So I definitely understand what you're saying. As far as the business of music, right? So now you at a place where you say, look, I can either continue to be in the streets or I could try something different. Was it at that point that you feel like the business of music is where you wanted to make your move?
I really, you know what? Mine was set up differently, because, you know, I was more of a creative person. So the business, I'd be like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with all. You deal with that. I'm gonna do them because what happened was me and Puff, his father and my father was best friends. They grew up together.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I had went to him and he was doing, he had Big and everybody.
Right.
I had locks and I
the
had
Locks
Mace.
then?
Yeah, I had them. I was managing them. I had them sign on the management.
And you had Mace.
And I had Mace too. So I took him over there. And then I learned from them. While he was teaching them and doing their albums, I was learning.
Oh, hold on. So hold on, because this is some real history here. So you took Mace to Puff.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Come on, give me something. Come on. I never knew that. I never knew that. Did you know that? So you took Mace to Puff. Y'all was managing Mace.
Yeah, we had we was managing Mace and we was managing the Locks.
The Locks.
And so we had them all under management. We was managing them. He probably ran into him and then I brought him back down and made that work for him. And he had the Locks too.
I remember. I remember. Yeah, he had Mace and the Locks.
Yeah.
So when y'all was managing them, did y'all manage them under Ruff Ryders or y'all had a different name back then?
No, we probably had them under. It probably was still Ruff Ryder management.
Ruff Ryders
management probably was like that.
Ruff Ryders management.
Yeah,
See, I want to go back. How did y'all come up with the Ruff Ryders?
Yeah.
Like that name is just so crazy to me. Like
The name is, you know what? What happened was my mom's and my brother was looking at a TV show, and there was a cowboy movie, and one of the cowboy movies in the group it was the Black Cowboys, and they was called the Ruff Ryders, and that's how they came up with the name off of that.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's
That's sometimes like when you look at certain movements, it's like certain things just seem perfect. The name, the artist, the movement, and the time all fit at the same time. Did you? So y'all took the Locks over there, and you took Mace over there, and they had started to have some success.
Right.
What was y'all move from there?
I mean, I moved from there. See, the goal was this because we had all the artists, so we knew who was the pick of the litter, and that was X. So we would hold X back.
So y'all already had X.
Yeah, we had all of them all at the same time.
So all right, because X had a deal early on.
Yeah, way back with I forgot it was a independent deal, but he had that way back.
Right. Because he had put out a record or something like that under DMX the Great.
Yep.
Right.
DMX the Great.
Now, speaking of X, right? Like I met X a few times and it was nothing but love. But I started to really I watched documentaries, I watched stuff about his story, and what he was going through in Yonkers. Did y'all know that he was special, like that special that early on?
You know what? I always, cause see, I was hustling, so he was running with my brother and them. I was out of town, so he kept talking about music. I was like, all right, nigga, I listen to that. I don't hear all that.
So you wasn't even trying to hear it?
I'm listening to him, but I'm like, this money ain't right. You talk about that shit later. He came down one day. I'm sitting outside. He pull up in the car. He had X with him. He's like, yo, boom, boom, boom. And I listen to rap, but only on the radio. But I don't really know about rappers and all that shit yet.
Right.
And he was like, yo, I got X with me. I was like, all right, let me hear something. Say it, fuck it. So he started rhyming, and then he started rhyming, So I'm listening, I'm zoomed in. He rhyming, and I was like, you got something.
So you knew?
Right away. That shit didn't take me but probably one time.
Come on, man. Bring me something here. Bring me something, baby. Check this out. That's interesting to me because this is at a time when the sound is different. Like New York is different. So is this when the West Coast was popping? I would say, yeah.
They was in. That's when it was probably like a East and a West Coast little beef popping, and it was in that area a little bit.
that was like growing down.
So it was. This is how he did because the beef was high right there. So what it was East and West. So I was like, I knew you had to be an artist like X to change the game. So it was more like when Puffin was doing more like silk suits and all that shit.
Right.
So I was like, well, you ain't gonna be able to fit in with that. So what happened was, he came in. He was a game changer because he came in with the boots and the jumpsuit.
Right.
He
Shirt
changed all
off,
that
yeah.
shit and all that. He jumpsuit and he, tank tops, and that's how he got to the real rap.
Wow. That's anybody. That's my favorite era, right? That's so we talking 98 when X comes in the game. 99, 97, like that whole. That's my golden era right there for me, right? When you had Big Pun, you had Hove, you had the Locks, Cameron, DMX. You had a lot was going on in the city, and a lot of that was coming out of New York. Y'all was at the forefront of that with X. Did y'all know that he was gonna sell the way he did right out the gate? He sold like what? What was it, like 8 million?
Right out the gate, our first album we dropped, we probably sold 5 million.
5 million. 5 million. Changed the game. That made Jay-Z take off because before that Jay-Z was wearing he wasn't shiny, but he was going with like with
glitter.
It was you know, he took that off, put that bandana on, that jean suit on. He was in front of the thing like this. Streets is watching. You know what I mean? Like it's my observation.
Streets is watching.
Streets is watching. You know, damn, a lot of legendary shit, man. Speaking of Hove, it was the battle between. It's the legendary battle that we all hear about in the street between X and Hove.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
I was there.
You was there.
Yeah.
Who won?
I ain't gonna say that. You know what? I'm gonna say what they would say. They won, and I'm gonna say we won. Okay, you my nigga. I'm running with you. I don't
That's
give a
a
fuck
fact.
if you lost, nigga. You still what you talking about?
You win even if you lose. You
On
still
my
won.
side, nigga, I'm
That's
with
a
you.
fact.
You my nigga.
That's
I fuck
right.
with you. Me no, we good.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but we this what it is.
Nigga,
We
you
won.
We won.
So you said you was the creative, so you didn't really want to deal with the business side of it. So were you mostly in the studio with them,
Yeah.
like in deciphering what sound hot and what don't?
Like my job is like I'm the CEO, but I'm more like an A&R.
A&R.
Like I know the music. Like I can navigate through it. I could tell the artist and be like, he probably got it,
All right.
or he don't have it, or it's not even that. It's just being able to see. Most rappers can rap because they all gonna be able to rap. Now when we take it from rap and say, I need you to make this song, it's a whole nother story.
And people don't understand that. You can, it's like, it's the same, it's with any type of creative, whether, just like singers, like you can be a great singer, but you may not know how to make a song. You may not know how to do the music aspect of it. You may not feel comfortable in the studio setting or something like that. So
Definitely, it's way harder than spitting 24 bars.
right.
Nigga, we only need 16, chill. Just get to this
Just get
and
to
get to that. So, you know, you just have to learn the business. And what I did was, I didn't know the business, so I gave the Locks and Mace to Puff. And was like, here, because he was big and he was doing.
He
his
knew the
thing.
business side of
Right,
it.
he was doing good, so it was better for me to give them to them and watch and learn from there while I'm managing them. And then I'll know how to do it when I got to get to the other artists. So that's all I did.
So y'all basically held X because y'all knew he was the game changer, and y'all let Mace and them do what they do.
Yeah, we really didn't.
Mace got shiny. He was like, P. Diddy say I'm pretty.
Yeah. He ain't got no problem putting grease on the floor. He that type of nigga. You know, I mean, he was just for him because he's a pretty boy. He's stunting and fronting and all this dumb shit.
He was good for mainstream. Like that, X was more rough.
X is more gritty. He ain't wearing no
So it's a little
shiny.
different.
He ain't doing
I ain't doing none
shiny.
of that. We gonna go straight. I mean, that's what it took to change the game. See, because they had you thinking that back then is that you got to have a Versace suit, that's a $200 shirt, and all this shit. Man, none of that.
So was it that they? Am I cutting you?
No.
Oh, okay. So was it that Mace and the Locks were more presentable to the labels, and DMX they really kind of underestimated him?
Yeah, they couldn't. You know, because you got to remember this. First of all, the average cat that's in them positions in the office, they know nothing about the streets.
That's a fact. Come
They
on,
know a
Absolutely.
fucking thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. They know nothing about the streets. They out of touch. They
100%.
All they know is what's gonna make us money. That's it.
That's it. They're just trying to get a lucky song, and that's it. But you know, if we build somebody, he gonna be what it is. It's gonna be more than one song. We gotta get about 50 songs to make this shit right. So you gotta be consistent. They don't want to do all that. They just want to get lucky with a song, make a little bit of money, shit stop moving, then they cut you and go to the next.
Absolutely.
Why does it always feel as though because I relate to you in that kind of way, right? And I feel like all people that come from, you know, the same similar backgrounds have that same feeling. It always feels as though the right people are not in the right positions. Why is it not like a D running one of these labels?
I mean, it's probably gonna be. I mean, I had opportunities too, you know, but I had my whole first opportunity. They was trying to sign me because they knew I knew the music.
Right.
Before it was the company. Before Swiss, everybody was on. They didn't want. They was like, just get him, and we can put him in our company and work all our artists. So that was I think it was with Jimmy Iovine and them, and I was working with Steve Stout.
They wanted to give you
Yeah,
position.
they were trying to sign me to, you know, so I can work with them.
Work with Interscope.
Yeah, so I can work all their artists.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do that. I got too many people over here I gotta do, but we could do it together.
Right.
So they wound up giving us a deal, and we was able to work together.
Do you think that you should have took something like that? Looking back, hindsight, because we need our kind of people in position.
I mean, I could have took it, but it would have been selfish. So I had other people I had to, you know, I might as well bring them with me. If I don't bring them, they're gonna be begging any fucking way. So you just come on, get your own shit, and we ain't gotta worry about it.
Right.
What you mean our kind of people though? Like as far as what?
Our kind of people that come from a certain type of cloth, people that come from a certain type of a place and have a certain type of principle about how they move. You know, you could call it street nigga or whatever. You can say that, but I don't like to leave it there because the streets is where we start. That ain't where we gonna finish because we're gonna do things in our life that's gonna propel us outside of them streets.
Right.
Now we still gonna hold to our values though. It's just certain things that I'm gonna hold as my values that I learned in the streets, certain principles that I'm gonna hold and I'm gonna stand on. And I know he feel the same way. So when I'm saying our peoples, I'm saying that those kind of people that have that sense of value. And I ain't saying you gotta have to kill 100 niggas and all that other shit.
Right.
But will you just understand and move with a certain level of principle?
You know, it's politics too. So how far you think they're gonna let us go?
But that's why I asked them, like, you know, why do we not have like D's and stuff like that running these labels in positions that really understand? Because, you know, a lot of people always feel like, oh, we got these people in there, they don't really understand, they out of touch, you know, they don't really relate to, you know, the culture of artists. You know, you got young gangbanging artists that's coming out of Brooklyn right now and in New York City that's getting signed to major labels. The people at the labels don't understand them.
At all.
Right? So I got people calling me saying, yo, I don't know what to do, man. You know, like, you know, what could I do? What should I do? You understand? I know you don't know what to do. It's evident that you don't know what to do because you don't speak the language, you don't understand. So your culture is different. So I think that's something that's always been though. It's always been.
Always.
But then before they had street teams, they had development, artist development and stuff like that. Is no more of that because we have social media and stuff like that. So they want you to come developed already. They want you to have a following already. They want you to have all of these things. So I think they lost. Not only did they lose touch before, but now it's even worse because they don't want to do the work. They want you to do all the work and then they reap all the benefits once you get there.
I got you.
That's a fact.
100%. They just trying to steal. So what they do is they look on the gram and see who got the most followers. This nigga's a bum. You got lucky with a fucking song. You got lucky with a song.
That's a fact.
But see what happens is this. To your point is that reason why they don't get artist development and what happens to them in the long run, they do get that one song. They shoot to the sky. Now it's time to get another one. They can't get it.
Right. You know,
And they're gone.
the times we living in, an artist could do something funny, say something, or it could just be the song and it could go viral. Just because something is viral don't mean the artist or the rapper or whoever don't make them dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference, you know. But the labels chase behind that. So I was just trying to understand like why we don't have our kind of guys in position. Do you think that it's I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? But do you think that it's purposely done to keep our cloth from outside these offices?
I would say, yeah, because you know they can't control certain people. See, when they can't control you, and you're not fearful, you know, you lose your job tomorrow. They want them shaking type people.
Right.
Job, and they don't need you to not be fearful for losing your job. Nigga, I lose my job. I ain't don't care about this. When you start talking,
Right, you start talking like that.
we don't need you.
I don't give a fuck about this job, man.
Yeah.
I didn't been to the bottom before. I know how to start from the bottom.
Yeah, they don't like all that. They need the niggas
Yeah.
that got total control over in that room when they got everybody sitting at that dumbass table and feeding them all this nervous shit. So, you know, that's just the way it is. But, you know, they don't never want us there because we're going to be able to, the closest one that I probably did business with that was all right, that worked with us pretty good was Leo Cohen's.
Okay.
He did pretty good with
Right.
us.
He the one they said that he came to the studio one night.
He came up.
Right, he came with Irv Gotti, right?
Yep.
And the ex-Jaw was Wyatt, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I heard this story. So I heard a lot of stories, man.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of stories, and he said, you know, I got the pick of the litter, like, you know.
Yeah.
You was there that night.
Yeah, I was there that night. He came and Irv brought him in. And, you know, X is he was a special artist because he was going through what he was going through in his life the whole fucking time.
The whole time.
The whole time. Not just starting, because most people get on and then start getting
Right, yeah, yes.
He came in like that.
Came in like that.
Came in day one.
Did you know the whole time?
All the time. I mean, I've been through so much shit with X. He was like a brother after a while, but you know, we just knew how to and do our best and do whatever we gotta do to keep him going, and
Right.
it worked. We just never went astray on him and left him. We just always was there for him, no matter what went wrong or right.
When I was in prison and y'all really like impacted the game and X first album came out and everything was new, I was locked up with a lot of people that was from Westchester, and they would tell me these stories. Oh yeah, we know X. Yo, he used to rob everybody with the dogs and stuff like that. I used to hear these stories back then, and one of the stories that I heard was that y'all would take him to Baltimore with y'all to get him out of the hood.
Yeah. We was in Baltimore, so I just tell him to get in the car, take him there, and we just be over there. He'll figure it out and start bullshitting over there.
Right.
Same shit, but it was a little bit more better there than where he was from because he knew the old.
He knew.
That's where he from. But you know, he was with us on the block, so he was good. You know, he do what he do, and you know, he couldn't do it as much as he was doing when he was home.
When the fame and the money came in, did it amplify it? Did it get worse? Was y'all able to clamp it a little bit?
You know, when he got his own money, see, we was able to clamp it because he didn't have real money. So he, you know, we was taking care of him. It was cool. So when you get your own money, now you can hire your own niggas that's going to do what you say and not what I'm telling them to do because you paying them now.
Right.
Now he had a lot of freedom to do bullshit because he was a boss now.
Right. He was in position.
Yeah.
And he's this huge rap star.
Right.
And it was because I hear a lot of people talking about you know, where was his friends, where was his family to stop certain things. But I feel like a lot of times with people, because my father was an addict in his own right, and I remember he would get help sometimes, and I would be happy. He would come home and it would be like, all right, I got my pops back.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And then he would go right back to doing his bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand. People think that it's easy to get a hold of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not at all. My uncle, he had his addictions with him, and it was the same thing. He would be cool, but then his friends. You're around a certain environment. It's kind of easy for you to relapse or go back to things. And he had the kindest heart. He helped everybody. Just like I heard the ex was the same type of way.
Right.
The kindest heart
Give everything.
and fighting your own demons. You know what I mean?
Right.
So people don't realize that. People are grown. They're going to do whatever they're going to. You can only do your best in aiding somebody or supporting somebody in whatever, whatever addictions or things that they're going through, but you can't make them stop. You can't make them do anything. So.
Nah, I feel that. I feel
That's
that.
true.
Nah, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ruff Ryders Volume 1. That was your first project.
Yeah, I think that was. No, was that the first
That was-
album?
I think Volume 1.
It might have been. You
So
might
that's-
know more than me.
No. You know why? Because this is after X albums. This is when this is the first
The
time.
volumes came up. I think they might have came after this.
It came after the solo.
Yeah, the volumes. Yeah, the volumes always come after.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all had Eve. I was in love with Eve, man.
Yeah.
Eve was
I got to throw that out there.
I hope.
I was in love with Eve. It was the Paul Prince and all that right there. I was in Auburn. I was in love with Eve.
I just felt she was
Yeah,
super
I
Like
nice.
short hair.
Yeah, Eve was. She was like a girl boy. You got to be a girl boy to make it in that circle.
Indeed. That was a crazy time though, man. Like,
How did y'all discover Eve?
Eve came. Dre, you know how we got Eve? What happened was, she was signed to Interscope. So
she was signed to Dre, right?
Yeah, she was over there with Dre and Jimmy, and they was trying to break up whatever they was doing, however they was, and whatever. And it probably wasn't. They didn't catch the right song or didn't give her enough attention. So I got to deal with Interscope with Jimmy, and I was talking to him. And he's like, "You know what? I got a girl here," and I was like, "All right, where's she from?" He said, "Philly." I said, "Shoot it to me." So she flew back to New York or wherever she came from. And she came in the studio and she started rhyming. I was like, "You could probably work with her." So we worked her and it worked.
Yeah, because she definitely fit in.
Yeah, she worked it.
She definitely fit in.
Yep, Eve was good.
Yeah. Shout out to Eve. Shout out to the whole Ruff Ryders. That was definitely a classic era. I heard Jadakiss say this about you. He said, you was like the glue. Like he felt comfortable when he was doing his music and when you was around.
Yeah, because I only work with the artists. Like that's my niche. Like I work hand on with artists. Like
But
literally.
you was that piece that was needed.
Yeah, see what you rhyming about. I live.
That's right.
They was little niggas.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell them how the Glock go. I'm gonna tell them how the barrel spin. How many shells that hold in.
Right.
So you don't fuck it up.
Right.
How many grams is, they don't know that because they babies at this point.
Right.
But I could tell them, I used to take them to school and I could teach them as I'm driving.
Right.
So they was like, so they knew how to put the words together and know how to talk like they was
Right.
pushing a lot of dope. But
Right.
we was just telling them what to say, just say that and do that. And they would just get in as they got older, they figured it out.
Right. They damn sure did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He was the OG.
Definitely. You had an accident on a bike.
Yeah.
That kind of took you away from the music for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until
Yeah.
but you eventually got back though.
Yeah. I you know what? What happened was I had an accident on the bike. And this shit, I had an accident some dumbass way. I'm riding the motherfucking bikes.
It was
seen
a
them T-Rexes.
T-Rex, yeah.
But I had got them way back before they even. I seen them in Miami one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, them shits look good. So I called them and I told my sister and them, I was like, yo, get these bikes and shoot them in New York because we didn't have them yet.
Right.
So I got them and I'm riding all day. Cops chasing me all weekend. So I bought about 4 of them. So I got me, all my niggas, we just running all over the place. So it looked like they call them, it was calling them spaceships.
That's what they was calling them down there?
In the hood.
Right.
And, you know, where we was at, they say, oh, they D&M just came through on the spaceships. So we was flying just before they knew about them. And then I was riding one day, but I was trying to figure out how to really learn how to get away. So I had to know the couch, because, see, this shit is different than the bike. See, a bike is thin. So this is a little wide.
Right, you got to kind of get inside.
Yeah,
it,
so
right?
if I get stuck in the motherfucking block, a one-way block, it's going to get ugly.
Right.
So I was trying to figure it out, so I used to go to Hunts Point and try to figure out how to
practice,
maneuver the bike. And I was leaving, I was getting ready to go back to Harlem. I was in the Bronx at Hunts Point, and my man pulled up on me, and he was like, Tone, I want to say his fucking name, he know what it is. But I pulled up, and he was like, yo, you told me you was going to let me ride. So I turned back around and went back to where I was practicing at, but it's a whole bunch of, you know, Hunts Point, there's a lot of 18-wheelers over there.
It's a factory area.
So I went over there, and I was showing them how to do the shit and whatever, and I guess my shit got stuck, and that shit just threw me way into the truck. And that was how that went.
Wow.
But it was all good.
Wow. Yeah, things happen, man. One of the closest, I got a friend that's like my brother. Shout out to 80. And he got paralyzed by the police. And I watched him go through a lot of life altering things. You know what I mean? So I watched him go from being able to, you know, be the glue over here in our circle to then actually, you know, not being able to walk. And I watched how he developed and some of the stuff that he goes through on an everyday. How does that accident change your life?
Well, it didn't really. You know what? It changed. It probably changed me thinking, I ain't gonna be able to get away. So I had to be a little bit more wise on my decisions.
Right.
You know, I jump out the car and we get it moving, and I could jump and run that way.
Ain't no running for the police now, huh?
Nah, nigga, we gotta think about this first before you do that. So it just made me more conscious.
Right.
And put me in a different place, because I had to sit for so long, so I had a lot of time to think and understand why this probably happened. You know, God do things for a reason. You know, like it could have been worse. So
you was in a coma.
Yeah, I was in a coma.
How long?
Probably for like 3 months, maybe.
3 months. Ooh. Wow. Wow.
It was cool though.
Wow. But you was able to make a comeback.
Yep. I came back. I did what I had to do. You know, I was sitting still. It changed my life because I thought differently after, you know.
Right.
I was young. Everything's on go. See, when you're young and you on go and you don't got no fear and you got money, that's not good. That's why he was like, I know what I'm going to do to this nigga, because he don't listen. I'm going to put him right up under this truck.
So at this point in the game, at the time you had the accident, y'all sitting on top of the world.
Yep. We was
millions of records are sold, flying everywhere, doing everything, living a dream. Took niggas out the hood, you showed them a way.
Yep. And
you feel like that accident was to humble you in some kind of way?
I figured it was to probably humble me and change my thoughts and my way of thinking. Because I still got money, but I'm still a hood nigga, so it don't matter. I'm on my block. My cars is parked over there. I don't got no problem with niggas, so
right.
I mean, we ain't got a problem. We gonna do what we do.
That's right.
So see, for with us, it was different because we came in the business with money. We ain't come in for money. We came to wash money. Big difference. So we had cars and all that shit already. So that was the difference for us. So it was for us to do something legit, so we don't fuck around and get 100 years or have to do life. Right. So that was more of my intentions of thinking, because I can't help the youth if I'm not there. So I had to make that decision.
You hustle smarter.
Yeah, hustle smarter.
So y'all come in the game with cars, you come in the game with money. Whose idea was it to associate motorcycles with the brand?
You know what? It was a guy we had named Wink 1100.
Wink, yeah.
Wink. So Wink was I always see everybody riding bikes in the hood. You know, niggas
Right.
got the dirt bikes and they believe. But it was just something about him that was special. And when we seen him ride, I was like, damn, I ain't never seen a nigga do that one. See, they was riding dirt bikes. He was riding
Like
motorcycles.
Yeah.
These 1100s, 1200, power boosters.
Yeah.
He was treating them shits like they was bicycles.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he about what he about. So we connected with him and we started off with that, and you know, it was just a trickle effect.
Right, because prior to that, nobody's seen nothing like that before.
No,
right?
no.
So I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective. Like, nobody's ever seen 100 motorcycles in the street all at one time, and everybody wearing the same uniform with that R. Like, that Ruff Ryders video, stop, right? I never seen nothing like that in my life. Visually, that shit looked crazy to see all that. I mean, we've been watching. Come on, motorcycles been around since forever, but to see that, we never seen that in a video. I don't think so.
In a hood video, at that.
But that's what I'm saying. It is the
Like,
hood, though.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, we never associated motorcycles with the hood.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's usually like some race car type, you know what I mean, or something like that. So now you see all these people. This is a hood video. Song is fire, and it's like a movement.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The movement, and then even still to this day, Ruff Ryders still has like a motorcycle chapter. Like the idea to associate motorcycles with the whole music component, that helped create a movement. Like, we never seen a movement like that.
Right.
I don't think like we ever seen a movement that way, because by the time I come home from jail, I still see like certain people with the bikes, right? I see the Ruff Ryders, but not rappers. I'm talking about it's 100 bikes that just went up Atlantic Avenue and they all got on them jackets. That is crazy to me, right? So when I think of the Ruff Ryders, I think of a strong movement in a certain time. Times change. Why isn't the Ruff Ryders, as far as the music, where they used to be?
Well, with the music with Ruff Ryders, like you said, see, I was responsible for the music.
Right.
So when I had an accident, it probably took me about 5 years. I was just doing, I didn't even care about it at that point. But I had the relationships with all the artists. So in that gap period right there, it caused a little slowdown right there for them, because they don't know how to do the music. I do the music. Like, I'm in the studio all night, so we get it right. So everybody in the company, they don't know how to do that. That was my job, is to make albums. I had to do the albums and deliver them.
So you was like the boss / A&R creative guy in the studio that helped with the structure of the songs, completion of albums. You was hands on with the music.
Yeah, 100%. Music, definitely.
So because you took that break, that 5-year break, by the time you get back to that, is things changed so drastically with the music?
Yeah,
or Ruff Ryders in the whole?
Yeah, because see, I wasn't handling the business, so you got to understand, it's still business.
Right.
And people still got lives.
Right.
So whatever they negotiating or whatever it is with the artists, whether it's Locks, Eve, X, it's still contracts and stuff that got to get done.
Right.
And updated. And, you know, I wasn't really there, so they was like little brothers to me. So, you know, they just know that if I'm there, it was probably going to be good. And when I wasn't there, they just, it didn't matter about the company more so than my relationship with them in the studio when the development process. So, they probably, now we're going to try our own little thing. Let's try the D-Block thing. And, everybody start wanting to try to do different things. Okay,
right. So then we saw everybody start to branch and do their own thing. So we saw X has started his thing. What was
Bloodline.
Bloodline? The Lock started D Block.
Right.
And Eve, she wanted to what? Cause she stayed.
She
right?
She was around, but I think she probably was doing more so movie stuff
Right,
and all that
right.
type of stuff.
Things was changing.
Yeah.
If you could change anything or do anything over in that era, what would it be?
Don't ride that bike.
Don't ride that bike. Wow.
Not ride that bike.
Not ride that bike.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Understood. That changed a lot.
Yeah,
But-
100%.
But you know, I look at things like you say, like things happen for a reason, right? And we still here,
Yeah.
right? You know, no matter we take our bruises, our lickings, and we still here. So the fact that you still here and you still making a difference and you still impactful, that means something.
Right.
That means something. You know, because I heard Kiss say, "Yo, man, when D, he didn't know what to do, as far as making his music, like he was off."
Mm-hmm.
I heard him say that.
So it's kind of like they were kind of lost when you weren't around, and they didn't trust anybody enough to make certain decisions.
They probably was more like, you get lost because you're getting guidance. They was young, so you're getting guidance and you're showing them, and they eating it up, and they like sponges, so they soak it up, and you teaching them, because they want you're gonna talk it. Not that you ever did it or you ever gonna do it. I'm just teaching them everything to say it right. Like, nigga, that's not how it go. Now that and that don't go together. Like that's a revolver, and that's not. That's not.
And they don't live it. So because
Yeah.
because that now I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about now, because I don't know. I don't have the person who lived it who could give me the inside of what I gotta talk about.
Yeah.
So now it's like, what I'm supposed to talk about.
Yeah. I want to
I
say it,
don't
but
know.
I want to say it right now, nigga. I'm telling you, those 357 shells going at 38.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you what it is. This is what you got to know if you want to talk that talk. But
Right.
not that they got to live it. That's the
Right.
purpose of me going through it, so I could teach them.
Right.
So they don't got to go through it. So I don't want you to go through what I went through. I'm just telling you, when you talk it, you got to talk it right.
Let me ask you something, D. This great era, Rockefeller, Bad Boy, Ruff Ryders, Cash Money, all existed at the same time. But then it was this Rockefeller, Ruff Ryders at the same time. Y'all was cool with Hov and them.
Yeah,
But then it was a little beef though with the artists though.
It wasn't never no real beef. It was just that was the pool table situation they had. That was just that one situation.
What pool table? What was that?
In the Bronx when Hov and X battled.
No, but what about with Beanie and going at it with the Locks?
Oh, Beanie, that was I think it was Beanie and the Locks.
Right.
So
I remember that.
That was because I used to live
Beanie
in
and
Philly
Kiss,
too. So
right.
I was from Philly too. So
Right.
I this is how that went.
That was a good
Beans
one.
is good. Those you good people.
Yeah.
But you can't beef with niggas. So I'm like, when they beefing, we beefing. It's cool.
Right.
You stay the fuck where you from. We stay where we from. We good.
Right.
I catch you. You catch me. However, they fuck around and happen to come up and I'm in the house and they called me one day. They was like, "Yo, you know them niggas is over here?" I said, "Where they at?" They was taking the park. I said, "I'll be right there." I shot over there in the park. They was in there. I ran in there. My man and them was in there. I caught him over there and I squashed it. I said, "Kiss, meet me in the park." I brought him and Beans together and they squashed it.
So you brought Beans and Kiss together.
Beans was there already.
Right.
I called Kiss and told him, "Yo, meet me over here on 45th." Because they was in that park over there.
Okay.
I said, "Meet me over here." He came, I jumped, took him down the park. I was like, "Go ahead, y'all fix it." And, everybody going to do the right thing because we really got the up, but, we don't.
Right.
We ain't going. We trying to fix it, not escalate it.
Right. Indeed.
So they wound up fixing it, boom, boom, and we ain't had to talk about that no more.
Right. Was it ever any like competitive energy between y'all and Ruff Ryders? I mean, and y'all and Rockefeller? Between you got Dame, you got Hov, you got Biggs, and it was you and your brother. Was it any kind of, or it was just all love?
No, it was always all love. I ain't never had no problem with them. They wasn't no Prompt. I mean, they was good. They rappers. Rappers.
I got you.
Keep the rap shit.
Yeah, I don't see you outside.
Exactly.
But they was good. We always did good. I'm not talk bad. I fuck with Dame. I just came from him within Cali.
Right,
He
definitely.
good. Hove is, whatever. But I don't see these guys like that. So it's all good.
But back then, y'all all had good relationships, and they said that you was the reason why X was able to get off of Def Jam. He didn't want to stay on Def Jam when Hove was there as the president.
Yeah, what happened was he was because they still had that little rival from the Bronx shit, and he just ain't like Hove for some reason. He just couldn't digest it, so I had to go in there and be
I thought that they was good because I remember they was supposed to have been a group, right? Murder Incorporated between Ja Rule, X, and Jay-Z.
Yeah. They was gonna do a song together.
There was a couple songs that they did, Murdergram,
right?
And it was talking about like a project. I think that they was talking about doing at that time.
They was gonna do that. Mm-hmm.
But X still wasn't all the way.
Nah, he just never. He never was comfortable. X he be good with Ja, then don't be good with Ja. Be good with Hov, then he ain't good with him no more.
Right.
So it was up and down, but we just kept everything, steady so it could keep going.
Right. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, it's been a hell of a year. Personally, I feel like I've aged 12 years over the past 12 months. And if you're like me, you're feeling your age more than you used to, especially in the bedroom. It's time to snap out of it. Spring is here, and it's time to get sprung with Blue Chew. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Kitchen Talk at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code Kitchen Talk to receive your first month free. And we thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the podcast. So when Hov became the president, he didn't want to be there.
No, we took him from there. I think we went to we could have went to Capitol, one of them other Virgins or one of them other labels over there. I don't remember, but we moved him to another label. And we just went over there and did whatever over there. But he didn't want to, he didn't want to have to answer to no whole, nigga.
Because they was peers, though.
Yeah, so, nigga, you ain't nicer than me. I know you don't, that's how he think in his mind. You ain't better than me. I mean, I ain't taking no orders from you.
Right.
Fuck all that. That's how X mind is. I could do it from anybody but him.
Wow. So he
just wasn't comfortable.
Right. Understood.
So we just moved him. And Hov kept it 100. He was solid. He was like, I was like, yo, just do this. He's like, no, just move him. Let him go, no problem.
Gave you the release with no problem.
Cut him with the release with no problem. So I appreciate that. I had a relationship with Hov, and he did do that for me. So I was like, appreciative to that. And it was in the red over there, but he still let us out.
Right. You being who you are, not many people could say that they're responsible for a lot of legendary artists. You know what I mean? Looking back, and how do you feel today, knowing that you're responsible for a lot of our influential artists? When we talk about DMX, when we talk about Jadakiss, who's still here right now, when you talking about bar for bar, not many niggas can stand next to him still to this day. Like, how do you feel at this point right now about that?
I mean, at this point, how I feel, I'm grateful that I was able to play a part in people's lives, and I was able to watch them grow from boys to be good men,
Right.
So I'm good with that, and then I could just help the next group of people as well. It just goes on.
Indeed. What's next? Is it still Ruff Ryders? Is it like, what's next for D?
I mean, Ruff Ryders is the family, so we always do that. And sometimes you gotta, when you ran your course on one thing, you gotta run your course. Indeed. You gotta know how to switch gears. Right. And see, this is another generation. Mm-hmm. So we did that, so they don't understand that that's done. We ain't probably never gonna beat that ever. So you go into something else. So I just play around with recruits. Like, I get a bunch of young little generals recruits.
That's right.
So I got to give them a shot. Mm. So you got to give the next generation a shot and see what you can come up with them. So I just study them and understand how they do it differently than we did.
Right. It's different era now.
Different era. You got to just study. You got to study them.
Right. And the journey is different.
Totally.
Social media, the internet.
Yep.
It's different. So what it took to get hot back then, it was different because there was no social media.
No.
You had to really be hot.
Yeah, you better be hot.
And that was usually like word of mouth.
Yep.
Like niggas was talking about such and such in the Bronx. I heard about him in Brooklyn. Like, so it was no way to spread it through the internet. You couldn't push no button and spread, whatever that you were selling. You had to really be that.
100%.
So you think it's easier for these kids now?
Way easier. You ain't got shit, nigga. I could put it up. You could do that overnight and wake up and got a million followers, niggas that don't even know you.
Right. And you could do it all yourself.
All yourself, you don't need no help. You see, before, you used to have some bread or somebody behind you trying to push you. Now anybody can go to the computer and tap and get a million followers or however they do it.
Right.
But like she said, like I was telling you, that's cool, but that's where they don't know nothing about artist development or none of that. So what that means is you good until you got to show yourself again. And when they go back to try to do it again, they can't do it. That's the problem.
Or they got to be consistent, But a lot of them, they've literally created their lives on social media. Like they like that's where they at. Off social media, you don't even they're
nobody.
They're weird. not saying it like that, but they don't really have social skills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they create lives on social media.
Do you have social skills? Honestly, I'm just.
Do you?
No, I'm just.
Do you?
No, I'm
up
looking
here,
at
right?
you.
He's listening to me, so clearly I have some type of social.
Just want to make sure, you good?
You was waiting for that.
No,
you was really waiting for that. I saw you watch me. You sat there and watched me like you was waiting for the moment.
I'm just making sure her social skills are really good because she just going in.
My social skills are very good.
No, I want you there. I like that energy. D. Sort of similar to like the Wu-Tang and Staten Island, right? When you think of Staten Island, like a lot of people automatically think of Wu-Tang. Similar to that is YO and Ruff Ryders and y'all whole movement. You know what I mean? Like, who's the new next hot artist coming out of YO?
I don't even be on that side technically. I wouldn't even be able to tell you because I'm not really from Yonkers. I was just there because they was there. I don't even be in the streets like that technically. I was over there probably a couple of days ago. I ain't really hear nobody that I heard, but I'm sure if I go out there and they'll tell me who's what and who's who, but I ain't really been out there on that side like that technically.
Because that whole area was like a Ruff Ryder area.
Yeah, it's just, what it is YO is but so big.
Right.
So it's Westchester,
Westchester,
Mount Vernon, New Row, Yonkers. That's all that one little area. So it's probably 4 mile square radius, and that's how big it is. So it ain't but so many people in there. But we just happen to get the Locks and X out of Yonkers.
Legend.
And that works. So they got talent up there, but I just ain't been out there.
What talent are you listening to though now?
I mean, I don't really, my focus right now is I just finished X's album.
Hey, that's dropping the 28th. And that's dropping the 28th. Big shout out to Swiss. Swiss called me one day. He was like, yo, where you at? Come listen to the X album. Yeah. I got up there and we listened to the whole thing. I listened to it a couple times. It's a dope album. Shout out to Swiss. He got a lot of features on there.
Yeah, a lot of features. He never really had a lot. He got about.
Yeah.
He got a good.
He got a good, nice amount of features, and they dope.
He got good features.
Dope. So that's dropping the 28th. It's called what is it? Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus.
Yeah.
That's his son's name. We just named it after his son.
Right. Dope song he got about his son too.
Yeah, he did a good song.
Touch My Soul.
Yeah, he got good songs on it. The album came out pretty good. I listened to it today too.
Before X passed, like what Where was he at? Was he happy? Was he? Because I seen an interview with him when he talked about his new album, and he seemed like he was in his pocket. Like
X was he was happy because I was with him in California, so he was over there. He was just happy. He was doing what he do. Just it was a never ending struggle,
right,
for whatever he was going through. It
right.
wouldn't give a fuck how much money you gave him,
right,
or how well he was. It was like you said. See, when it's an addiction,
mm-hmm.
whole nother ball game. Because what happens is you might get clean for a couple of months, but that ain't the problem.
That's
the problem
right.
is the relapse.
Right.
Is where the problem comes in at.
Did you ever have like one-on-one conversations with him about whatever he was going through?
A million conversations.
Wow.
I mean, he wouldn't even take my calls. He don't want to hear me. Like hearing my pops. I don't even answer to my pops. I'll be like, yeah, I did. Bail me out. I don't want to hear that shit. Not right now.
Just bail me out, man.
Just bail me out. You talking too long.
You keep preaching,
throwing me off and shit. Nigga talking. I don't want to hear that, man. Just come get
hear
me.
that shit, though.
But that's how it be with me with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to just keep saying, keeping, it worked because I was able to, it was me and a couple of, I had picked, God bless the dead that passed, and he helped me a lot with doing these albums because this shit wasn't no walk in the park with X. It ain't no motherfucking come in the studio and do the song and lay, nah, nigga. I had to trick him to get shit. So, but I just knew how to put it together. And
even still, right? Even this album here.
Thank you. You already know.
Right.
Fucking now. That nigga had me in there for months. I'd be like, all right, nigga. I'll probably get him in there and I'll probably be like, I know what to do.
How would you get him in the studio?
He'd probably come, like if we been there, I was just in Cali. So I probably was there for about 30 days. Me, Craig, and Swiss. So I'm in there. I already got, but Swiss had me most of the hooks already. So
Right.
So it was easy. So I was like, you know how you had to do this, nigga? It was different. It wasn't like listen to this beat right to it. Listen to this beat. No. What beat is that? Oh, they going good. Say that rhyme. Say the rhyme. Say that other rhyme on the same fucking beat. I don't give a fuck. Say 20 of them. I got the vocals. I'm good. I could let that nigga go now. He can go wherever he wants.
Say 20.
But I got to catch him
right.
while his delivery is right and everything is good, and we just have to put it together. You know?
Right.
And some songs he write to, and some songs but you have to trick him. X was tricky. Is
it that he didn't want to be there? Because I heard he would be like, I'll be right back, and he'll never come back.
He pulled a couple of them stunts before. I mean, he with me, he did pretty good because he respected me differently. So it was the bullshit he really couldn't do, and I'm like, I'll be in there. So when he would leave, I still can work without him once I got the vocals.
Right, once you got the vocals.
I don't need you after I get the vocals. I get on my mixing shit.
And you piecing them where you need to piece them.
I put my mixing shit together. Girl, you go home. Don't even worry about this. We're going to get to the bottom of this shit. You think we're going to miss this fucking date? Fuck out of here.
Yo, I heard X was doing the same thing on movie sets too. Like,
the nigga be out there flying.
I heard.
Look, this nigga out there flying the plane. The movie set is $10,000 an hour.
Yeah,
he's over there playing for 8 hours and shit.
I heard.
He jammed that up.
What was it that he wasn't even?
He wasn't focused.
No, it's not that. It's that he didn't care about the fame. Right? I don't think.
Not at all.
I don't think he cared about the fame.
He didn't want it. He didn't care about the fame. I just want to be regular. I don't care about it. You see X, he walk in the street and he just always in the hood. He be over here. He don't got nobody with him. He just be all over the fucking place.
Even at his highest moment, I heard he was pulling up, jumping out.
Same shit. He just all the way till he passed. He would do the same. He just never changed.
Wow.
Never changed.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, we would put people with him just so he could be all right, because it's not like people going probably doing things to the fans,
Right, of course. People management. You gotta manage that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love DMX.
Definitely, man. That album is dropping the 28th. Make sure y'all check that out. stream that actually, because we in the stream era.
Yeah.
We in the streams. But you know what though? They said Tyson was the same way.
Yeah, I can see that.
They said in Tyson in his
like
prime, the fame wasn't. It was sometimes it's so much. Didn't really care so much about it. Crashing cars, leaving them.
He got the smash up shit, move over here.
Right.
Mike ain't give a fuck. Mike was we respect Mike. We respect anybody that come from the struggle.
That's right.
And make it successfully. And you gotta just gotta be there and be grateful for that they made it. You know what I'm saying? Mike was a good brother.
Indeed, man. And so is X, man, and definitely rest in power to X.
Yes.
We lost a legend. I feel like we need to do a lot more for our legends. I don't know what it is. I don't got no answers. I seen what was going on with Black Rob, and I was just like, wow, wow. I mean, it's no real union for artists, right?
You should be able to do something,
right? Because you work with these labels, right, for a certain amount of time, whether that's 1 to 5 years, 5 to 7, maybe even 10, depending on if you get that lucky. And then there's no benefits, there's no unions, it's no nothing after that. But you know what? You do have a union. You got AFTRA. AFTRA is the music union. So
all the
SAG is, but AFTRA is if you got to still be getting checks from the label, a certain amount to really qualify for that.
Right.
But after, when you get to a certain age or when you get past your fame or your heyday, I ain't seen a picture of Black Rob or a video of Black Rob until I saw that footage, and I was like, whoa. But I don't have the answers. Do you agree with that? It should be something set up in place for artists after they get to a certain place?
Definitely. I mean, you should be able to do the same as the regular people working.
Pensions
and different
fucking
things.
pension.
401k.
Should be a pension or something.
But we also have to do a better job. I mean, their artists are responsible for themselves personally, not just But we also have to do a better job at educating our artists so that they understand that, because a lot of them don't know. They're not even thinking about, if I go to the doctor, or I need insurance, insurance or whatever, life insurance, freaking, like you said, a pension, something to set up to put to the side, because they're not used to these things. So when they get money, a lot of them, because they don't know what to do with their money. They just want to spend. They want to look good. They want to, they're not thinking. So I think we need to do a better job at educating them and giving them the necessary tools to take care of to mind their business, take care of themselves, and to be better at that. You know what I mean? And not depend on other people to do it for you, because they're not always going to be there.
Right.
So
I think we should, like you said, it should be more to educate them to the business. They're not educated because they think rapping is it. It don't stop there. That's just the start. Now you got to know business.
Right.
See, they thinking they just rapping, because it is just rapping when you're in the streets. But when you sign that paper, it's a business.
It's a business.
Now you got to learn the business.
And maintain the business.
That's interesting that you say that, because we were talking a little bit about that downstairs, right? It's not just rap. It's rap that's how you would get in the door.
Right.
And then it becomes something else, right? You coming from the street, you're back around the street. The game is full of smoke and mirrors.
100%.
You get in this shit and it's not what you thought it was. People not who you thought they was. Was it hard for you to navigate through that, knowing that you come from a real place? Did you have to have, I don't know, a lot of issues, hit a couple walls to find that out?
I mean, the business, like I said, I tried to not even deal with fake niggas. So
Right.
I ain't really had to do that. I let them, my sister and all them out.
Right.
But when it come to business and we got to go to a meeting and we deal with it, we still, business is business. You still going to have to know your business. So
Right.
same way they going to have to learn their business. They didn't know it, but now you got to learn it, because you don't know where that money came from, and you don't know taxes is coming out of that.
Right.
You don't know half of that. That 100,000 is not 100,000, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know that. They think 100,000 is
right.
100,000.
So you gotta split it and cut it. But like they always say, what you know. I mean, who you know will get you in the door. What you know will keep you there.
That's right.
That's a fact.
You want to teach them business, and that's
I'm
the
smart.
way it
I'm smart.
You are. You smart. Definitely smart. Put the speakers up. Nah, definitely. You know, y'all impacted the game, and I thank you for really like pulling up and really sharing a lot of game with me, right? But I want to give you your flowers, bro. Right? A lot of times we speak on people in past tense and it's like, oh, he was this and he was that. He was a real nigga.
Right.
And I want to tell you, like, you impactful. I respect you. And I think that for the most part, everybody else does, right? Y'all had artists that actually stood the test of time and a fan base that stood the test of time. And I want you to know that it's just as people still feel the same way that I feel.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
You know, like when we seen, I was in LA when you know, when X had his the funeral or whatever, and I saw the big Tonka truck coming through Brooklyn and everything. And I saw them all those bikes coming through. So that's a lot of love, man. And you know, in this life, we got to make niggas remember our name, man.
Definite. Like you said, you want to give them the roses before.
That's right.
And that's very important because people don't get together until something goes wrong. And we're supposed to be able to embrace each other before something goes wrong. You know, we don't have to always be a bad situation.
Right.
Where everybody got suits on.
Right. We should be able to come together on some great time, on some money time, or even just on some love time and just brotherhood, because it ain't always got to be a fucking funeral. They say that's how black people. They say that's how our black families are. All right, that's what they say about family. I ain't seen you since the last funeral. Right?
Yeah, it's true. You know, it's our job. See what it is for us. It's our job to make the change because we in position and we got the power. So if we don't do it, it's probably not going to get done because we got to enforce certain things and show our youth behind us the way. They just out here, they just floating. They don't got nobody old enough around them telling them, because what happens is they become leaders and they really never went through things to become a leader.
Absolutely.
Because of the money.
So money, man, that's crazy. Money doesn't make you a leader. It just puts you in a position to appear that way, right?
There you go.
So it gives you the illusion of power just because you got more money than everybody else. But your character, your core character is not really a leader. That's not who you are. That's not really who you are. Somebody said something to me one day. I forget who it was. One of my homies called me. It was like, man, there's a difference between a old nigga and an OG. You could be an OG, but then there's just a nigga that's just old. You understand? Like, there's a difference, you know? Some dudes is just old niggas. They not OGs because we can't get no game and we can't get perspective from them that we could use. You understand? So, like, when you say OG, it's because it's a respect factor there, right? It's I can learn something, you understand? And I can listen to some wisdom. What you think about that?
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's different type of OGs.
Right.
I mean, you old nigga, you probably never did nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't probably gonna you sit there still on your block. You ain't did shit your whole life.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you.
That's right.
I need to talk to you because you showing me things that you've done. And what have you done since 20 to now? You 40.
That's right.
You doing the same thing you was doing when you was 20. That means you lost 20 years of your life.
You doing the same thing that you was doing when you 20 years ago, and you just lost 20 years of your life.
Yeah.
Wow. No growth.
No growth.
No growth. No growth, man.
Still want to talk about the same stories from 20 years ago.
Right. Wow.
Shit.
No growth, man. Life is about development, man. and we constantly trying to develop, and we constantly trying to level up. You got to level up, baby. And I ain't talking about just money-wise, just experience-wise. Because after a certain time, man, you just want to be alive, man, and just take care of your family and live. You know? AD, I appreciate you, bro.
Yes.
We appreciate you. Look, I don't even fuck with interviews, for real.
I know you don't.
I don't even know how many interviews that probably did 5.
Out of all these years.
Maybe. But the reason why, because I watch you talk all the time, so I pay attention. I know real conversation.
Right.
I know bullshit conversation. And I never really hear you talk stupid shit.
Right.
I always hear you say shit that I be like,
Indeed.
I started to say, let me call this nigga right quick.
Yeah.
He might have, he said that shit too right. So I understood that because I could tell from the conversations that you be having. Right. I'll be like, yeah, he's on it. He's
thank you, man.
Right there.
Thank
and
you.
You can't practice this shit.
Nah, you can't.
And go and read it out of a book and all that. You had to live in. I was like, he had to go through some shit because he got that too close to right.
Yeah.
You know that. So I appreciate you.
Nah, I appreciate you, D, for real, man.
And it's just a pleasure for me to talk to somebody that I know come from a real place.
Yeah. And
still stand the way he stand as a man. Like I tell that nigga, I said, look, if you're gonna give me money and I can't talk to my people, don't give it to me.
Ooh. Oh, principle right there, man.
Yeah, 100. I probably
principle.
I got the same friends I had for 20, 30 years.
Me too.
Still with me.
Shout out to my brother, Sino Mike, sitting over there, man. We've been friends all our lives.
That's it.
Brothers, actually. After a while, you're not even friends no more.
Yeah, you family.
Family, definitely. You know, damn. That was profound. If you're going to give me money and I can't speak to my people, I might as well even have it. That's standing for something. And we in an era where nobody stand for anything. It's
because
like
you know what they do? Not to cut you, but what they do is, see, when you get in this business, they try to separate you from your people. And I remember I got one for these people. So this nigga just told me one time, and I don't know the business yet.
Right.
So he's my niggas. I still, I just come from hustling on blocks and shooting with niggas. And he's my niggas for real. Right. You niggas here with us, white. So he go, nah, come on, we're going to take you to California. No, we're going to take you to Vegas. It was Vegas. Right. He said, we're going to take you to Vegas, and we got the plane. They had a jet or whatever they had. You know, I wasn't in there. I didn't know all that shit yet. So I was like, all right, cool, we go. So, I had a bunch of niggas with me. So he was like, yeah, but no, you can't. It's just going to be you, him, and him. So it was me, my brother, and one more person. And I was like, nah, how that's going to work? He was like, nah, we got the jet. We only got 3 seats for y'all. I told this nigga like this. I said, how many seats? He said 3. I said, how much are them tickets? He's like, oh, it's like $5,000 a piece for each one of y'all. I said, give me 15,000 in continental tickets. And I'll take all my niggas. I'll mix that niggas over there. Fuck out of here.
Shit, that's right. Standing for something, standing on your words, standing on your principles, man.
If I'm going to pay $15,000, my niggas got to go.
Yeah, my niggas is good. 15,000? Nah, nigga, you just get me $15,000 worth of continental tickets, and I'll take 30 niggas with me.
That's right. That's right. Wow, man. Damn, bro. I appreciate you, D, man. One more time, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
That X album is dropping the 28th. That's the 28th of this month right here. So make sure you stream that, buy that, everything. You know what I mean? It's only one DMX, only one Ruff Ryder movement. You already know, man. Kitchen Talk, where we sit in the kitchen and talk real shit, right? What's up, Nashy Nash?
At your favorite tomboy.
You know? Is that? Can you? I want you to change that.
Why?
Try a different name. Maybe Georgie or Danielle. Because people don't know that your name is Danielle.
Why you putting my government out there
So,
like that?
I said you're happy because you are a public person. So
people who know me know my name is Danielle.
all right, you're a public person. I blew you up.
And people call me Georgie.
Okay.
So that's my name too, Georgie.
And your name is Daniel, just like my name is Jermaine. So it's okay. It's not, we ain't gotta hide that. It is what it is. Hey D, you hungry, bro? I got some food, man.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
I got that gourmet, man.
No, I'm good. I was
lavish lifestyle.
Before I came, I was with my sister.
Okay.
She just gave me something.
Okay.
I'm over. Look, Bro. Yep. Look, I got my nigga Brilla right here. You want some? I tell you, a nigga nice, he nice.
Okay. What's up, my guy?
What's up, family?
The big homie said you nice, so you got to be that. You got to be that deal.
Now, I was trying to pull up, but he was moving kind of fast today. I wanted to pull up and meet you in person, but
Okay.
yeah,
We gonna have that time. That's a fact.
yeah, definitely, bro. I appreciate your time, man.
Nah, man, it's love, bro. It's love.
You already know.
Definitely.
Stay safe.
Bro, I'm gonna hit you. I'm about to finish your head.
You already
I'm
know.
gonna hit you when I finish your head and shoot up.
Huh?
All right, hit me.
I got it.
What?
Oh, you got to cut,
You
huh,
can talk
nigga?
loud. It's over.
Why,
gotta
yeah,
shape
why you
up.
always
It's
whispering?
over.
Project, man.
Oh, you got to shape up.
Yeah, I got a little save up.
Yeah, so it's all right.
Yeah, we're gonna figure
Not
it out.
eating.
I put it together.
You not
You're
eating.
not eating.
Yep.
And I worked it off with the whole thing.
Why you always whispering though? What are you saying? You saying 143? That's